Hey guys, this is the D melodic minor bebop scale. Oh. Goes over a D minor sixth chord. If you play the first flat third, which is D and F, the A and the B, which is the perfect fifth and the major sixth, if you focus on those four tones, then you get this kind of sound, D minor sixth. If you focus on the alternate notes, which are E, G, B flat and C sharp, you get this kind of sound, which is an A7 flat 9. So you've got a scale that can be used to bounce depending on where you focus your melodic intention, and you can play either one of those two chords. You can play D minor 6 sound or A7 flat 9. Here it is as an arpeggio. Okay, and I'm going to quickly break down the 8 different ways that I've learned the D minor 6 arpeggio, because that's very important to the sound, which is like this. And notice I'm playing two sets of strings to get adjacent strings, right? And then the shape just continues. And I also work hard on improvising within that shape. Here's the second one. And here's the third one. Again, you can see this shape repeating itself. You can see it and hear it, just repeating up the octaves. Next shape. Very important to practice the shape formally, like this, and then practice improvising with it. Those are all 2 notes per string, and 2 sets of adjacent strings. You know, you're doing these 2, and then these 2, and then these 2 in identical patterns, and that's great for traveling. If you wanted to play more across the chord, you might do this. These are just 4 options, which goes across our D minor 6 down there. You might find one here. This one I like. And then one here, which kind of goes. Okay, and the last shape would be around, could be around this chord, something like this. Alright, so that's the 8 different ways I would practice it. Now, fully diminished arpeggio, which is the other one you can get out of the scale based off those notes that I mentioned earlier, E, G, B flat and C sharp. You'll notice that wherever you play it, see, I just played it like this. Now if I move that down in minor thirds, because that is the symmetrical interval within this arpeggio, notice it's exactly the same shape. So I don't, with a little bit of attention and focus and practice, I don't have to be a genius to work that one out and then work it across the neck. But the minor 6 is something altogether different. It's quite complex, quite hard to see on the instrument, and quite hard to voice chords for as well. So to do your inversions, I think those are really important. Or maybe the important thing is that eventually this leads towards you applying this scale in an improvised fashion. Now there's 2 steps to this, which is, the first one is this. To play the scale stepwise, put a metronome on, 3 and 4, and just play the scale stepwise. And notice I'm trying to challenge myself a little bit by changing positions or whatever. That's all sort of part of your unique practice you design for yourself. But here's the important thing. As long as you start on a strong beat, on a downbeat, either beats 1, 2, 3 or 4, you can start anywhere in the arpeggio. So for example, you can start on the D, you can start on the F, on the A or the B, and it's going to sound fantastic. Started on a strong tone and then moved stepwise. Now that's very important. Stepwise in the scale in any direction, it's going to sound beautiful. So 3 and 4 and D, 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 D. Now I'm going to go back up. that line sounded great, not because I'm some kind of musical genius, but because I stuck to the theory, you know. It's going to sound great, starting from a strong tone, F. Okay, starting from the A this time and coming down, and I'll go up and down and up and down. Let's see what happens there. 3 and 4 and... It is going to sound really strong because it's balanced and it has polarity, which means that strong tones and strong beats align, and then your off beats are taken up with these notes. You know, our weak tones or our tension tones that tell us that we should probably move to resolve the sound. Now I'm going to just play like a 2-bar loop. Here it is. 2, 2. Pretty dodgily played, but anyway, you get the idea. Now I'm going to arpeggiate first, just so you can hear that, and then I'll try and run the scale. And then our other arpeggio. Back to our first arpeggio. Now, keeping on going with that whole idea, I might play a little bit more scale and melodic material, rhythmic material, but I'm going to really stay on that chord D minor 6, on this chord A7 flat, and I'm going to really think about those 2 arpeggios, you know.